Welcome to Global Television Network. We have a special guest today, and he will be sharing with us a lot more what is happening in our community and at the church. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about him that Dr. Bishop Sir Walter Mack Jr. is a committed pastor and a teacher whose vision and love of God and people is expansive enough to reach the nations and microscopic enough to touch individuals on a personal level. Diligently serving as a pastor and a teacher of Union Baptist Church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Bishop Mack provides spiritual guidance and leadership to his congregation of over 4,000. Bishop Mack currently serves as Metropolitan Bishop with Global United Fellowship. He provides leadership to the Southeastern Coastal Atlantic Province. Besides that, also he is formally educated at Elon College in Elon, North Carolina, Bachelor of Arts in Communications, Duke University, Durham, North Carolina, Master of Divinity, and United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio, Doctor of Ministry program. Bishop Mack, welcome to Global Television Network.
Bless you. Good to see you.
Dr. Mack, you're from this area.
Yes.
Before we get into about this seminar, share a little bit about you and the church, Union Baptist Church in Winston-Salem.
Yes, I grew up in this city. My father pastored in this city, the late Dr. Sir Walter Mack Sr., and my mother, thank God, is 89 years old. She's still living, and she's an active part of our ministry here at this church along with my family. And so I've been blessed to be able to come back home and minister in this city. I'm at a church where one of the pastors served for 47 years. Dr. H. McDaniel and then Dr. P.F. Daniels served 16 years prior to me coming. This church was traditionally a traditional church. And over 20 years ago when I arrived here, it was pretty traditional, very solid in terms of its ministry, but was kind of contained within the box of what we understood church to be. Always engaged in community efforts and that kind of thing, but we kind of understood church to be in the box. And so the members of this church, when they asked me to come serve here, they wanted some leadership that would help lead them further. And so I was able to come here and to kind of see some other opportunities on how to get the church outside of the church.
Wonderful.
And so, yes, sir.
Dr. Mack, wonderful education you have.
Yes.
I mean, with that education, anyone can go anywhere and far much more he can do. But Lord called you into the ministry.
Yes.
And you have that vision to reach out to people, the community, and I see what work you've been doing here. Yes. And tremendous, and his church is growing too. What is your vision for the church here?
So my vision for the church is to minister life to those who are broken and bruised, to be that place of restoration. I've often said that if you look around your circle and your circle don't inspire you, it's not your circle, it's a cage. And so I believe that the church is the place to help people to get inspired and to get them out of their personal cages, that they can experience life and life more abundantly, and to make Christ become alive in their life and to make Christ relevant in their everyday walk. And so for this church, we believe that we must be prophetic in the sense of addressing those issues that affect people on a daily basis, in their daily walk, but also be very sincere about our worship, our prayer, our study, our fellowship, our evangelism. So we kind of merge those two pieces together, and we call ourselves a prophet-charismatic church, where we believe in merging the prophetic and the charismatic together. So that's the kind of church we are.
I see your vision for the community and people, and you're a people person, I know. And that is why, with that burden, Lord has given you, you're starting and doing new conference that is coming up on April 10th through 12 here at Union Baptist Church. It's called Church Leaders and Laity Conference. Could you share about
the
that?
Renew Conference. And so we're excited. We started this conference because what we found is that churches get to a place where they get stuck. I like the way Bill Eason put it in this book, the Unfreezing Moves. He talks about there are two types of churches that exist: a frozen church, a stuck church, and an unstuck church. Wow. And so I kind of picked in on the fact that there are many churches that are stuck, and they don't know how to move forward with the gifts and talents that they have in ministry. So we came up with a conference called Renew Conference to renew churches, to renew leadership, to renew laity. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run, not get weary. They shall walk and not faint. So this conference is designed to help reignite that passion, that drive that will get the life back into what we are supposed to be doing. One thing I found out is that many churches are dealing with traditionalism, which is a different kind of spirit from tradition. Tradition is different from traditionalism, okay? So we celebrate tradition in some certain sense. My birthday is a tradition. Every January the 11th, it's a tradition that we eat cake on my birthday. That's a tradition, right? So tradition is the living faith of the dead. It's something that we do. Tradition is the living faith of the dead, okay? It's something that people who pass on did that we keep alive. That's tradition. Traditionalism is the dead faith of the living.
Say that again. Traditionalism is the dead faith of the living.
Of the dead faith of the living. And so this conference is designed to destroy the traditionalism. And it's a creative ministry conference that is designed to move churches out of their comfort zones, push them to the edges.
Yes. No, Bishop, of course, the church does not mean the building. Church means people.
People.
Now, this conference, Renew Conference, is not for men only, but a whole family, men and women and
children.
Children.
Yes.
How will that renew them? What is happening to our families?
So let me tell you, I'm so glad you asked. So on the Wednesday of that conference, so the way we're trying to hit something that's really affecting families is financial burden. So what we're doing is we have gone out and we have partnered with the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School System. There will be over 900 high school students in the sanctuary on that Wednesday, and we'll be talking to them about financial literacy. Dr. Buster Soares out of New Jersey and his D-Free financial literacy program, which is blessing churches all over this nation, will be teaching those young people those principles out of that program to break that bondage, because so many young people cannot function in life because they get in so much debt early, or they have a misunderstanding about how finances work. So that'll be one piece. We have Prudential Insurance that will be coming in to meet with pastors about retirement programs, meet with seniors on how to establish living legacies or living wills, and how to leave something back for the next generation. These are things that we're going to be working with this conference, along with some other creative parts that will help us move forward. You're not going to believe this, but we have a pastor that's coming to this conference. That's going to be a blessing to churches. We have a pastor that's coming to this conference. He's so creative in what he does. Pastor Ricky Rush, he's so creative in what he does, is that when his church built that church, they have a fisher's theme. Right, fishing for men.
He's from
women.
Ohio.
He's from Texas.
Texas. Okay.
And when he's fishing for fish, fishing for men and women, a discipleship theme in his church, that they put a SeaWorld aquarium in their church.
Aquarium in the church.
Right. So when you walk in, man, you're walking under sharks and stingrays.
I never seen that before.
Man, I mean, he's coming, and he has his ministry team that is able to take lessons and transpose them into cartoons for the kids' lessons on Sundays.
While the service is going on, right away they do that?
Right. They can watch cartoons while he's
Wow.
preaching right on the iPad. I mean,
Different way of giving gospel.
Right. So let me tell you what happened. So our ministry, we were struggling with how to get people back to Sunday school, getting that interest back in place for Sunday school. When our Christian education director heard of this whole approach, she said, wow, why can't we do Sunday school on YouTube? And hey, now we're doing Sunday school lessons on video that we can now send out to the membership, and the membership can actually watch Sunday school throughout the week and not just on Sunday.
Amazing.
So these are the kind of things that we have. We have Bishop Walter Thomas coming, Dr. Soares is coming. We have Dr. William Curtis, who's a great preacher, Dr. Jasmine Skurlock, who people all over the country love to hear preach. It's just going to be a powerful, packed conference.
Dr. Mack, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to ask you, and I want to go back to literacy, financial literacy, which is very important. But before that, definitely you want to attend this Renew conference on April 10th through 12th at Union Baptist Church in Winston-Salem. And of course, we're going to give you all the website and phone number soon, so stay tuned. Bishop Mack, financial literacy is so important. My daughter is 21 years old. Yes. And I'm teaching her, showing her how to keep up, do the checkbook, and the credit card and all that, how to manage her finances. And she's pretty frugal, I would say. She manages, but once in a while, a little bit. But that is important. Key is teaching our young people from their childhood or when they are in middle school or high school. What is happening in our society that they get that credit card, and they think that since money doesn't flow through their fingers and the credit card, you don't see money right away, it's very easy to spend. And I tell my daughter too, that spend cash rather than credit card, because that way you feel that money is going out of your finger. So they try to reach tomorrow's goal or tomorrow's dream, reach it today rather than wait patiently. And is that how we get into debt? Because finances is the major issue in any marriage or anybody's life.
I think you're hitting on something very important. I think it goes back a little deeper, though. I think that we have been taught some historical myths wrong about finances. One, I think we've been taught that it's not that money is the root of all evil. It's the love of it. So I think we've been taught to have a dysfunctional love affair with money, okay? So that's the piece that we got to correct. I think we've been taught that, hey, go ahead and spend it because you can't take it with you. Well, you can't take it with you, but you can leave some behind. So I think we got to start teaching, setting up for the next generation. I think we've been taught that, hey, Jesus was poor, then what's wrong with being poor? As if being poor means being more holy than not, And so I think going back into dealing with those foundational principles about wealth and finances, I like to think that there has to be a balance, that yes, you could be blessed physically with finances, but real prosperity is also having financial wealth, but also having spiritual wealth and having joy and peace with it. Because I know a whole lot of people with wealth and money, but they don't have that joy. Exactly. They don't have that joy. And so I think we're trying to get to these young people to let them know, hey, I was taught this, that you don't walk over a penny. If I see a penny today, I'm going to stop and pick that penny up. I have a street ministry. I have a street finance ministry. I will find a penny and I will pick it up. I sure will. I will pick it up and keep that penny because it is a reminder for me where I came from. But then too, if it were not for the grace of God, where I can return. And so I don't walk over pennies. I pick them up and I will sanitize them and I will keep them and save them.
Okay. Bishop Mack, and I do that too when I see penny, because I come from different culture and different background. That penny value is 10 times more, by the way, in other countries.
Wow.
If you didn't know that. It may be 1 penny here, but it's 10 times more.
That's rich.
Yes, yes, sir.
That is rich.
So that means I got 10 times more. So that makes a difference also. Tell me a little bit more about the speakers here. I see.
So we have a football player, NFL ball player that's coming in to speak to the high school students on that Wednesday. Anthony Levine, number 41,
Wow.
Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, he's a member of our church, so he's coming back. We have a class for administrators, church administrators. Odell Dickerson will be here for that. We have a class for clergy to talk about creative forms of approaching the text, approaching illustrations for preaching.